So what did you think when you heard that Kamla Persad-Bissessar was finally stepping out on her own and challenging Basdev Pandey for UNC leader? And where were you when Prime Minister Patrick Manning and Dr. Keith Rowley had their showdown in Parliament? These were the moments in politics in 2009 that we'll never forget. This year, politics was history in the making, from both the opposition UNC and ruling PNM. Let's start with the UNC. That's a party where every single day, it seems, there's some new rift, argument or development. The year began with the party's one-time financier and personal friend of Basdev Pandey signalling that he was not happy with the way things were, and by January, Jack Warner had had a secret meeting with Prime Minister Patrick Manning at the Prime Minister's official residence, and things just went downhill from there, leading to the formation of Ramjack, a dissident trio led by Mr. Warner and comprising Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj and Winston Gypsy Peters. Their message, change in the party, specifically call the long overdue internal elections and see if Basdev Pandey should remain as a leader. By March, this outright rift in the party took a violent turn that shocked the country. An actual nasty physical showdown at Rienzi Complex at the UNC's National Congress. That earned Ramjack a trip to the backbench of Parliament, and Mr. Maharaj created history as the first man to be axed as opposition chief whip twice in the history of the UNC.
I came to find out from her what was the procedure and how do I pursue what I wanted to do, which was the removal of the chief of Mr. Ramesh Maharaj as chief whip. I have sent him a copy of the letter that I have sent to the Speaker.
The battle was on, and by July, Ramjack scored a victory when they ousted longtime Pandey loyalist Dr. Suraj Rambachan from his long-held post of Chaguanas mayor and introduced Trinidad and Tobago to Natasha Navas, the 30-year-old bank clerk.
I believe in improvement, so therefore I have always worked towards this, and if I can do it, then so can many other persons. Together, we the young and the old can work and become the stalwarts of the change we desire.
By the year's end, however, the UNC's internal politics took a complete about-turn as Basdev Pandey announced that the party's elections would be held on January 24th, 2010. For the first time in the country's history, Pandey found himself with two challengers for the post.
Well, I want to make an announcement tonight. You see, on the 24th of January, I shall be contesting the elections in the UNC as the political leader of the party.
With the greatest humility, I will stand as a candidate for the leadership of the UNC on January 24th, 2009.
I feel very confident that the party membership would support me in the election. When the issues are discussed, I believe very confident that the UNC membership would have to make a decision. Does it want to remain in opposition or does it want to get into government?
And in a complete about-turn, Mr. Warner announced that he was dissolving Ramjack and supporting Mrs. Persad-Bissessar for leader. So who's going to win?
The person herself, I think, is somebody who's intelligent, who's not just intelligent, but she has ideas, she has a strong personality, she's articulate. She can put forward a lot when she has time.
The ruling PNM was not to be outdone. The battle between Prime Minister Patrick Manning and his fired Diego Martin West MP, Dr. Keith Rowley, continued this year and ended up in a nasty showdown in Parliament in September.
I had to sit here and listen to my leader, my Prime Minister, make a case of missing money and then ascribe it to me by asking me where the money gone. Why should people be sacrificed so as to allow others, wrongdoers, to prosper?
I see hate. Mr. Speaker, I see bitterness. Mr. Speaker, I see acrimony. Mr. Speaker, I see animosity. And Mr. Speaker, I see a man completely out of control.
No country should accept that from any Prime Minister.
When you carry on with the amount of hate that you have, it impairs your judgment. Stop and check himself. Stop and check himself. What you thought was Ramjack G is now Ramjack G and Rowley. The method that I saw existing between the member for Tabaquite and the member for Diego Martin West is a method that is not unfamiliar to me. I saw it in the year 2001 when it was used to bring down the government of the United National Congress. I was here. I was part of it.
But I just would like to ask him the name of the brand that he was drinking so that I can avoid it.
The brand from which I was drinking was the Holy Bible. If I appear to be drunk, Mr. Speaker, I am drunk on God.
If this country cannot call to order its Prime Minister and his cabinet and his political party to say we are not accepting that, then God help us.
You believe you are God, you're not God, you know. Let God decide that.
So what to make of that?
Those statements, were so strong, and it shows a definite antipathy towards Mr. Rowley, who has emerged as more popular in the recent dismissed Ryan poll by the PNM than Patrick Manning. So then one wonders really what his motivation was.
This has been a pattern for a very long time of singling out anybody that looks to have an independent opinion and being able to deal with them.
I guess that has to do with the relevance of Parliament, that so much time is spent pointing personal fingers. We frequently say that you can't tell one political party from the other.
By the way, remember the COP? They were busy campaigning every Saturday against property taxes and opening new offices and making it clear that they were still relevant to the politics of today.
The Congress of the People is a permanent fixture in the political life of Trinidad and Tobago, and that anyone who wants to go to government will have to come to us in order for us to take care of it.
But where is
Prime
the
Minister
COP in all of
Manning's
this? The COP is an escape hatch or valve or something for people who want to have some possibility of something new, but they're really recycling the same old people.
I think they're all recycling, that's the problem.
Yeah.
All this shows is that 2010 is going to be again another interesting one when it comes to Trinidad and Tobago's politics.
Don't you know, talking about